Hello and welcome. My name is Ali Goff. I am the owner and founder of Goff Legal. We are an estate planning, trust administration, and probate firm serving all of California. Today, I'm going to be going over your halfway check-in. It is June. That's crazy, right? It's June already, and that means half of the year is gone. And it's a good time to check in on your finances, your estate plan, all those sorts of things, and find out what are the goals you set for this year and how far are you to getting them done? It's also a good time to look at your plan, look at your finances. You've got the summer coming up. Maybe you have a few staycations planned. Time to look at those finances before you go on vacation, flying somewhere. So I'm going to go over those today. So let's start with estate plans. I would love for you to check out your agents, your assets, and your beneficiaries. Those are the three probably most important things, the fourth being any tax planning. So check the list of your agents. Do you still trust them? Do you like them? Do you have their current contact information? If the answer is yes, cool, you're good to go. Now, what about your assets? Look at your trust schedule. Look at your schedule of non-trust assets. Are they still the same assets you had when you created your estate plan? Have you acquired any new assets, new businesses, changed your policies, life insurance policies, changed your investments, moved jobs, got new 401ks? Make sure that your schedule of assets reflects your current assets. And then beneficiaries, make sure that the people you have listed as beneficiaries are still the people you want to be getting your funds. I met with a client and they decided they actually didn't want to wait till 30 for their kids to get their money. They wanted to move it up to earlier, 25. So we updated their beneficiary part of their plan to make sure it reflected their current wishes. So that's a quick review of your estate plan. If getting an estate plan was on your list, I suggest you schedule an appointment. Why? Because sometimes it takes a little while to get schedules in place and then gather the information, make the decisions. In our office, it's about a month or so from the time that we get all the information until they sign. Could be quicker, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time. So I recommend getting an appointment on calendar now, not later, if you want to get this done this year. Next, insurance policies. Check your beneficiaries. This is so important. I cannot overstate this. Your beneficiary designations will control any insurance policies you have, even if it's the ex-spouse that you just spent a lot of money divorcing. If you have them on as beneficiary, they will get that account when you're gone. So make sure it's current. Make sure it has your family or your spouse or the favorite local nonprofit that you choose to support. Whatever you want to do is make sure that that is current to what your wishes are right now. Next up, if you have a trust and you have any insurance policies on the house, make sure that you list the trust as an additional insured. It shouldn't cost anything, and it's one of those things that will help in the lawsuit to make sure that the trust is covered and the property is properly insured. Next up, bank and investment accounts. Check the title. If your schedule of assets says my checking account at Tri-Counties is in the trust, check the title. Does it say trust? Does it say TTE or TR? If the answer is no, you might need to go to the bank and update your title of your account to reflect that it should be titled in the name of your trust. You'll use the certification of trust document you were provided at your signing to accomplish that. They might also have a form that you fill out that says, what's the name of your trust? What's the tax ID number? Who's a trustee? You can fill all that out, have it notarized, and then they should change that account into the name of the trust. If for some reason you run into troubles, you could name the trust as the beneficiary of an account. That will work in some cases. It's not my first recommendation, but it is an option specifically if you have like all your auto pay and you don't want to change your accounts. One of the ways to handle it. Credit unions often will be more sticklers than other institutions. So, but you still want it to make it into the trust. Then check your beneficiaries. If you have a joint title account, it's going to go to the joint owner when you're gone. If you have an account that you have listed a child or a nonprofit or a friend as the beneficiary, they're going to get that account when you're gone. Nothing wrong with that. You just want to make sure that's actually what you want to happen. Don't forget your work policies. If you have moved jobs, if you had an old job and you were married to someone else at the time and now you have a new job, you know your current policy, your 401k has your spouse, what about the old one? Consider rolling it over, moving it, consolidating it, or at least making sure that there's a record of it and you know who the beneficiaries are and that your current beneficiaries are there. Next up, pets. I talked about this last month, but make sure your emergency contact information for your pets is updated. I have something on the website, gofflegal.com, under resources that you can download and fill out that has all of your pet's information. So in the event of an emergency or your passing, someone will have all the information for your pets. All right, next up, digital assets. Everyone forgets these, and they're so important. You're on a computer right now because you're watching me. Hi, I'm on a computer. I have like a million passwords, but I also have a password saver. So consider who might need to get into your digital accounts, your email, your photos, your PayPal, your cryptocurrency, all those sorts of things. Someone's got to get into them when you're gone. And it's really important to make it as easy as possible for them because the law is not super friendly to getting into digital accounts after someone's passing. So it's really important that your documents reflect the ability to have control over digital assets. If you work with me, of course, that's taken care of, but also have maybe a password saver, a password manager, a system so that someone could log into your computer and access your accounts. Equally important, if you don't want someone getting into your accounts when you're gone, I would suggest taking care of that in advance. And then businesses. I run a business. A lot of my clients have businesses. One of the things that it's good to check in by the middle of the year and to say, did you do your annual minutes this year? Most people have their minutes due by April 15th for some reason. So have you had your annual meeting? The next is, do you have an emergency contact sheet for your business? What if you're not here? What if you're disabled or incapacitated? What would someone need to know if they came into your business? Who's your CPA? Who's the financial advisor? Who's your CFO? Who runs payroll? Who's your banker? All those are really important people that someone would need to get a hold of in the event of your, like I said, incapacity. Want to have that written down, make it really easy for someone to find. Who's all your insurance agents in case there's a claim? And then finally, business succession. Most people who have a business have been thinking about business succession, but they haven't necessarily done anything about it. Now is a great time to start. Think about what you want, think about what your goals are, and consider hiring some professionals to help you get closer so that you know when you get to that point when you're ready to step out of your business that it's ready to go for you. And I believe there's also a flyer on that on my website. So that's our mid-year check-in. It shouldn't take a ton of time. It's really designed to go, oh yeah, I handled all those things and I don't need to worry about them until next year. Because December is probably not a great time to run this with Christmas and New Year's and the holidays and all those sorts of things. Mid-year, summertime, you're like, it's hot out. I might as well check up on my finances, check up on my estate plan and make sure everything is in order. If you have questions, you're welcome to contact the office at gofflegal.com. You can fill out the form and we'll be happy to chat with you. Thanks for listening and have a wonderful summer.